What's up, y'all? I'm Antonio J, rapper and producer, but today I'm gonna be your host for Getting Close Up. As y'all can see, Auntie's not here today. Unfortunately, she tried cooking up a pangolin and she got the bubonic plague. So I'll be the host today, and today we will be getting close up with the one and only Jansen Wooten. Welcome.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
No, thank
Happy
you
to
for
be
coming.
here.
It's always a good feeling, get to talk to you in the music scene. Today, we got these cameras in front of us, so it's kind of crazy. We got to be like,
We got to keep it PG.
exactly, yeah, just like PG Lang. Awesome, man. So obviously, like, what you been up to recently, man? I ain't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, I've been, working on my own stuff. Becoming a student again
Okay.
with some new instruments and some new software. Because, if it doesn't exist digitally, then you might as well not even do it at all. So, previously I've operated with, taking a quick phone video if I have a cool idea, but I need to start having something I can come back to and actually build upon and turn into something.
Hey, yeah,
So
no.
that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, I feel that.
Hibernation.
Oh, a little bit of hibernation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He said, speaking of winter, like we finna be some bears in here.
It's
Hey.
cold. It is very cold.
Mad cold. Hey, speaking of mad cold, you're pretty cold at music, and today we're gonna be learning about how you got so cold at it.
Okay.
Okay. A little bit of wordplay. Anyways, I'm a
tell my
rapper, just so y'all
secrets.
didn't know. But like we go take it way back. But I kind of just want to start with a whole like mission statement. Anytime you got a business, you got that mission statement of like, hey, this is what we finna go do. You have this statement that you go by, like, when in doubt, do less.
I have said that before.
Tell me more about that, because that's
Well, because usually it doesn't have to be that complicated. That statement,
Okay.
I have usually pointed it towards the context of playing, being an accessory in a band. Mainly guitar and drums, because that's kind of where I've spent the most time. But like, if you're playing drums and you're in the groove and it comes to a moment where like, oh, okay, this would be a really good spot for this fill. No, don't do it. It's not that important. It's probably not going to work out. I mean, for people at a higher level, if you got it, then you got it and you can do it. But, it's more important not to mess it up than to steal the spotlight.
Okay, got you. So in other words, he's saying be a team player. Okay.
Yes.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
Pretty much.
Ooh, they don't say that enough in the music scene and stuff like that. So we're gonna take it way back.
Way back.
Way back. Like
How far back?
we're gonna talk about when you started playing music. Like as a
Oh,
kid,
okay.
bro. Like we talk about like when you was like something like this tall. I don't know. You're pretty tall, so I'm guessing you've always been tall. Anyways,
thank you.
so early start in like your music, with your family and all that. When your first guitar, when did you play that? Like how old were you?
Got my first guitar from Santa
Okay.
for Christmas
Hey, shout out the big man.
when I was in kindergarten. So what, like six,
6 or 7? 7? Yeah, probably 7.
And my mom taught me how to play Country Roads
Okay.
and
John
Eagle
Denver.
and the Hawk by John Denver. Both John
Okay.
Denver songs.
Both John Denver. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was a little 3/4 size Yamaha acoustic guitar, and I played on that for a while. It was mainly singer-songwriter stuff, and then started getting into electrics later.
Okay.
But yeah, I started on acoustic
Yeah.
guitar. I got it for Christmas from
Okay.
Santa.
Hey, once again,
Very
shout out
important.
the big man. Hey, so also like, playing with your family, like, were they musical? Like, did you get it from anybody?
Yeah, I grew up in a very creative family.
Okay.
My mom's a graphic designer, and she also plays guitar. She plays in her church band nowadays. My dad is just kind of good at everything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I got it
That's
from.
how dads be.
You know, you
That's
see
where I got it
something
from.
and you say, okay, I could probably do that. My grandma, my grandpa, pretty much everybody is very musical or creative in some way. So I wasn't starting from ground zero. Like we were singing in church all the time, and I generally grew up with music around me.
Okay. No, that's awesome. So some people, they start, whether it's like, the Jackson 5, they got forced to be in a band as children. Other people, it's like through the church.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that for you guys that playing that kind of brought the family playing together, or?
Yeah, it was in church, and then I'm trying to think. My sister and I went to the same middle school, so we were, at the same choir concerts and that kind of thing. And we did a few performances together. We sang A Whole New World in a variety show. It was very cute. I wore eyeliner. It's fantastic. It's a great hidden somewhere in the annals of
somewhere.
Yeah,
it's probably on the computer at home, in the laundry room,
on
like
the
something like
camcorder.
that. Yep, exactly. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to find
on the
that.
tiny little cassette.
I'm about to do my research, bro. I'm gonna be Nardwar finding that pic.
Yeah.
You're Jansen Wooten. We have to know.
Yeah.
So, what were some of your early influences?
My early influences. Who was I? I was listening to Rascal Flatts.
Yo!
Rascal Flatts.
That's a deep cut right there.
I've made people guess before. I was like, I got really into a band like right when I got my first iPod, and I've made people guess before, and nobody guesses Rascal Flatts.
No.
They'll guess like Yellow Card, Sublime, which I do like Sublime, but I didn't get into them until later. But up until around like 12, 13, I was listening to a lot of contemporary Christian music.
Gotcha.
That's what I was around.
Yeah.
And then I kind of,
that's what you were like exposed to. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, absolutely.
And then I got into like a lot of pop punk, which is when I found one of my favorite bands, 4 Year Strong.
Oh, yeah.
They're just really hardcore. It's like just above pop punk, but not quite metal.
Yeah.
So, I just like to call it hardcore punk. And I've seen them live a couple times. They're just like screaming. It's a big inspiration for, everything that I've done band-wise since I was like 14. I just want to capture that energy of just like,
you gotta get, yeah. Man,
so when people come to a show, I wanted to, have a good time, release your worldly troubles, and we'll forget about it for a while.
Absolutely, bro. I want some amnesia whenever I'm at that concert.
Exactly.
One quick question. What's your favorite Rascal Flatts song? Because I do not get to ask enough people that. All day.
I don't think that's a Rascal Flatts
technically,
song.
I think it was like a cover, but
yeah.
Shout out Cars. That's a fantastic movie.
They have a song called Backwards, and it's about how country music always talks about sad stuff.
Yeah.
And the chorus is, get your car back, get your house back, get your first wheels back.
Yeah. But
yeah.
So guitar camp. I've heard there's something about that. I was doing my research, reading some articles, looking at the library, everything on Jansen Wooten. Heard something about a guitar camp. Is that a thing?
Guitar camp.
Or music making camp?
Yeah, so it was called Power Chord Academy.
Power Chord Academy.
Yeah.
School of Rock, but
pretty
different.
much.
Got you.
But they rented out these old dorms at some small community college for a week. And I think it was between ages like 12 and 17, you would sign up to play a certain instrument. And they took all these people that signed up and they said, okay, we got this guitarist of this age, that said he liked this styles, we're gonna put him with this drummer of this age who said he likes certain styles. So that was really cool. They had like group sessions on different stuff. And then we would have blocks of the day where we would just be in literally a dorm room
Yeah.
that's like half the size of this place. And
As it should be.
yeah, and they just put us in a room and it's like, all right, write some songs, right? Or the goal
It's
of
like,
the
get to
camp,
work.
yeah, the goal of the camp was to write a song and record it by the end of the week.
So it's like working in teams?
Yeah, pretty
gotcha,
much.
Gotcha.
And so there was just a hallway of like different teenagers.
Like so many devil's tritones up and down the hallway.
Blasting. But yeah, that was cool, and that was a good experience for recording because, you know, in different studio contexts, you're doing it either layer by layer or live, or generally those two categories are the biggest.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was cool to just have to play everything live immediately, and kind of it put us in that high pressure scenario.
Hey, pressure makes diamonds.
That age. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
What was the most
But it
valuable thing you think you learned from that?
how to play with other people.
Okay.
And
Like core foundation right there, though.
and sort of share the spotlight, because it's not always about you.
I can't be a team player.
Yeah,
Trying
being
to
a
sense
team
a
player.
trend over here, like
Yeah,
a little motif of the
I think we
episode.
all have that problem a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
music is something that's meant to be shared.
Yes.
And I learned that then, and I've been relearning it over the years, and will continue to do so.
Hey.
And it's just, you know, keep playing music and learn
Keep learning.
what you learn along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think it like helped, like, you know, obviously that had to be like early where you're, you know, learning how to work with other people, and again, different people with different tastes and different upbringings. Do you think that impacted like your style at all, or exposure wise, or
Yeah,
you know?
I think maybe the lesson was maybe not share the spotlight, but working with other people in the way of, oh, I have this idea, and what do you? But at a certain point, the road stops for that idea.
Yes.
Okay, now, bandmate across the room, what do you think about that?
So turning into a
What
group
can we
project where
add?
everybody contributes.
Yeah.
It's like one cohesive thing.
Right.
You know, formed by, you know, 3, 4, maybe even 5 people.
Yeah.
Or just 2.
And until then,
Plural.
I'd only been playing with like my 2 other friends from
Yeah.
school, and so it was cool to meet people, and because you know the kids that got their parents to sign them up for that were, you know, definitely more committed to their instruments, so it was cool to play with people that were a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, taking like that experience and, you know, what you've learned, and kind of like a little bit of a transition to now, how would you describe your style? Jansen Wooten.
Style?
Yeah. Yeah. He's smiling. He's ready.
I don't know. I kind of try to do. I try to shake it up.
Okay. I mean, shaking it up, I feel like is also part of the style in itself.
Yeah. I try, and it's also kind of a downfall in a way of, like, I always feel like I have to do something different.
Yeah.
When, you know, there's something to be said for the momentum of, all right, I'm gonna start writing songs in this style, so I'm gonna write this song. Maybe it's not that great, but, you know, I'll take the good things from that and then do it again and do it again. And I do a form of that in the way that I'm still taking what I've learned from my previous endeavors, but I'm maybe applying it to a different context, or, you know, seeing how I can plagiarize in different ways.
So, yeah. Kind of like writing the same thing, you know, Jansen's name, but just in a bunch of different fonts and stuff like that.
Different
You know,
fonts.
Metaphorically,
Yes.
of course. Definitely.
I'm a big fan
Awesome.
of fonts.
So today, we know that you brought a bunch of different instruments. I was talking about not being able to count on my fingers. Still true. looks like we have a bunch of things around us. Would
Yes.
you like to show us some of these
I would
things?
love to
'Cause,
show you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of fascinated about this. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll start basic. Here's my guitar.
That's a guitar.
Her name is Angela,
Angela.
and she's been with me for a while, and I like that there's, as guitar players, we're all very proud of the wear and tear on our guitars, and it
A little bit of masking tape on there.
it tells you something about the player, and this is a very new thing because
What is that?
so this is another
I'm
hobby of mine is 3D printing, and so this is actually files for a cello.
What?
Yeah. So, and then this comes out too. But I put bass
Part
strings
cello,
on
part
it.
bow staff.
Yeah, so it's sized as a cello. I have bass strings on it. But yeah, I have a 3D printer, and it's not that big, so you have to print stuff in little tiny chunks.
So if Kansas City ever magically has a Batman, I'm automatically accusing you of being him. That is insane.
Yeah, and so I could put cello
You're like
strings
piece
on
by
it.
piece. Like, how big are the sections that you had at 3D print?
This,
So I see the
Yeah.
seams right there. So
that's right there.
it's about 8 inches.
I think
Okay.
this is probably the biggest piece, like volume-wise. This is mostly hollow. It's just holding the preamp in there. And then, so preamp, which has a piezo pickup, which goes right under the bridge.
Wow.
And picks up the sensors. But you can't play, you can't get carried away with this because the divots in the bridge are, not too deep. But it is meant to be a cello. So, and I just like how, you can do 3D printing and music, and we'll
Combine your two hobbies.
yeah,
Yep.
we'll revisit that concept in a second. Don't want.
I cannot even believe that. I
Yeah.
was not expecting that one.
So, and then right here, what may have seemed to be a prop at first. This is a conch shell that I found on the beach on a trip to Mexico.
Okay.
When I was like 14.
Viva
and
Mexico.
so it sat around for years and years, just kind of followed me around. But one day I found a guy named Don Chilton, who's a very good trumpet player, but he also has music that he's made with conch shells.
That just sounds like a musician name.
Yeah. And so I saw it and I was like, I have one of those. I wonder if I could do that. And so
So I'm gonna be next.
and so it took way longer than I thought it would to cut this off. But you just do a little hole there and you change the pitch by and so you can get about a fifth out of it.
I thought you were about to summon Naughty by Nature.
Whoa. So there's that.
Can I hold your conch?
Yes.
That's so
please
cool.
do.
Whoa.
And then this is another 3D printing thing. So you can make
Yo,
your
we both got conches now. Let's
yeah,
go.
you can build 3D models and do that. People can put them on the internet for free.
Okay,
Or
okay.
if you have something that's a little bit cooler like this, you can charge $2.66 for it. And that's what I got this for. And it doesn't sound as good as that one, but yeah. And so you buzz into it like you would a brass instrument.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I'm not even gonna try that.
It doesn't always work great. It's only as good as the player. But yeah, so
Wow.
that's the real one, and then this is the 3D printed one. Here,
Oh, trade.
take a look at that one.
Oh, for sure.
It's
Oh, this
very,
one's-
very much lighter.
Yeah, yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, and I haven't figured out how the size relates to the pitch. I know there's a relationship somehow, but I don't know how I would test it.
Yeah. It's like, still trying to figure out how to apply the scientific method on that
I
one,
printed
guys.
a smaller one. That was about a 16-hour print.
16 hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So 3D printing is very cool and relatively fast for how accurate you can be with prototyping parts.
And so when you 3D print, like what type of material is that?
That is PLA,
PLA?
which I'm blanking on what it stands
Got
for.
you.
But
Yeah.
so you can print in PLA, which is a hard plastic, as you can tell.
Yeah.
You can print in TPU, which is a little bit more flexible. Think about like an exercise watch band that you can print solid, but then you can flex it a little bit. There's resin printers that you can. There's a company called Elegoo.
Elegoo.
It's literally an object that forms out of a pool of liquid.
So I know plastic on beaches is bad. If it's in shell shape, do you
It's
think
okay.
that's
Yeah,
it's okay?
I checked. I checked.
I hope there are no children
no,
watching
we're-
this.
we're-
Take this back.
We're certified to litter the beaches with 3D printed conch shells.
Disclaimer: the Sanctuary Entertainment did not back up that
Yes.
message. So moving on. Obviously, you play guitar. That seems to be the main thing that you play the most. I mean, you're a front man. You're a singer. Would you be interested in playing a song for us on the guitar?
I would love to play a song for you on the guitar.
I would love that.
look at that, I
That'd make me
have
sleep
one
at-
right
Whoa,
here.
whoa, where did that come from, actually? Wait a second.
Came from Guitar Center. I took.
Let's go, Angela.
What do you want to hear? Give me some more
got-
directions.
So I heard you got like a whole EP. Or like, what's it? Something about like birds on a porch or something like that.
Birds on the patio.
Yeah, birds. Yeah. You said the patio.
So
The birds are
Go-
on a different tax bracket.
I came up with a similar riff and jokingly in my head named it Ducks on a Cold Glass Roof. But I need to stop like doing that with
Yeah.
songs. Like this thing, juxtapositioning it in a different place. Or what?
Yeah.
A preposition.
Yeah.
Thing, preposition, place. But this is kind of a good example of like how I'm kind of always trying to do something different. Because
Yeah.
before I started writing instrumental stuff, it was singer-songwriter. I was getting really into John Mayer. I was like,
Okay.
hey, that's kind of cool. And so that's what got me into playing all six strings, kind
Yeah.
of. And when I was getting in more into more intricate playing, it was just kind of seemed like it didn't need words.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's kind of how I got into
Oh, I'm
stuff
excited
like
to hear
this.
this.
And he sticks the landing.
It's so fantastic. And, like, the way that you were playing, like with the chords, like all the way, like all the way up the neck. Like, what part of the guitar is that called?
Well, this is called the headstock.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say like the
Yeah.
head of the guitar. I don't want to like just throw things out there. Like, oh yeah, I named that.
Yeah, and I guess this is called behind the nut because this is the nut right here.
Oh, for sure.
This is where the strings
Is there
go.
a K in front of it? Like,
Yeah, so
just like Harry Potter.
yeah, and so everybody knows you can change the pitch of the guitar string by creating more tension because that's what the tuners do.
Oh yeah, me and my mom were talking about that the other day. Actually, yeah, for sure.
But you can also change the harmonics the same way,
Yeah.
which is kind of
So when you talk about like the
something
intricate
cool.
playing, it's like stuff like that.
Yeah, just kind of seeing playing the acoustic guitar as the whole instrument,
yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
pushing the limits of what you can do. And there are certainly people that are doing that much better than I am. I went to a finger style guitar competition that's in Winfield, Kansas. And I went in with confidence because that's how you got to do
It's like,
stuff. Humble confidence, and when I got there, like before the first contestant was even called, we were all warming up back in the little tent area, and I was like, all right, I'm just here to have fun because
I'm a gold medalist. Okay,
I'm way
guys,
out of my
we're
league.
just here for the good time.
Way out of my
like-
league here.
Honestly, it's the friends that we made along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and everybody seemed to have a similar attitude, and so it was a good time.
Awesome. Where can people keep up with you? Social medias,
yeah,
like what we got, what
my-
we promoted today.
My Instagram is Jansen Does Music, and we got the Chunk at chunkrock.kc.
Okay,
And
okay.
that's kind of where I operate.
Well, Jansen, I believe that wraps up on our show that we got to share together.
Wait, that's wrapped up? Wow.
Yeah,
I
can you
feel
believe
like
that?
was 5 minutes ago.
Well, once again, I'm Antonio J.
I'm Jansen Wooten.
And I'd like to thank you for hanging out with us today. And the links for the guest are going to be below. So, love you guys. Stay hungry. stay humble. Peace.
Peace!